Hi, this is Tony Ruggiero. Thanks for listening to The Tour Coach. These are the players, coaches, experts, stories, and insights from my work on the PGA Tour at my retreats or my downtown teaching center in Mobile, Alabama. My goal is to shed light and share insights from the people who I've gotten to know and meet working on the PGA Tour and teach it through my career. And I hope this helps all of us play, coach, and teach better golf. If you like what you hear, please give us a good review and take a look at our new Dew Sweepers YouTube channel or the Dew Sweeper on Instagram, where I've taken some time to share videos of help from my teachings, travels, and journeys. Hi, this is Tony Ruggiero here, host of the Tour Coach podcast. Thanks to our great sponsors, Srixon Golf and Bushnell Golf, we're working to help spread the word about the Tour Coach and get more people to download and get more people to listen to it. I have so many DMs every week from golfers, from teachers, just people that are passionate about the game of golf, that love our authentic, our raw approach. It's unproduced. It's just natural. It's from my travels, teaching and working on the PGA Tour, teaching at our retreats, just conversations with the very best in the world of golf. And we want more people to know about it. So Srixon and Cleveland Golf and Bushnell and I have teamed up to give away some stuff. And here's what you have to do to win and help spread the word about the Tour Coach. All you have to do is go on to Apple iTunes and give a review of the Tour Coach, then screenshot it, and then post it on Instagram or Twitter and tag Srixon and Bushnell and myself at the Dew Sweeper on Instagram or at Dew Sweeper Golf on Twitter. And what I'm going to do weekly is draw from those people that tag me on social media, as well as Bushnell and Srixon. And I'm going to do drawings for Wingmans, Dew Sweeper books, new Srixon golf balls, and wedges. We're going to give away a ton of stuff each week over the next month. So spread the word about the Tour Coach, give a review, screenshot it, and post it on your social media channels and tag me at the Dew Sweeper and at Dew Sweeper Golf. And we're going to be spreading the word and spreading the love and helping people play better golf. All right, so I'm sitting here at Rocco's Tacos up in Boca. Hadn't had one of my players on in a while. We've been doing a little work last couple of weeks, and catch up today with Zack Sucher. Zack, what's up, my man?
Hey, how you
Hadn't had you on in a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been here, and just been grinding on golf.
Let's talk about that. So, as I stuff a chip in my mouth, but that green stuff's good.
Delicious.
But didn't have the year you wanted last year. Right? You're back to Corn Ferry, not missed getting full Corn Ferry by a shot. But you've made some big changes, and I think that's kind of what I want to talk about today is, one, when you had a bad year, you didn't blame everybody else, right? But we sat down and you kind of looked at the things you needed to do, and the one thing I thought you did a great job was in January when we were down here for golf camp, you realized that physically you had to get a lot better, that we've been addressing some issues in your golf swing for several years, but really struggling. Your tendency is out of the top. Your hips come in towards the ball. Handle gets high. I'm trying to play a cut. You kind of would handle drag it, swipe it, and hit it right or hit it left. And, to get a lot better, I think we both agreed that I remember we had a phone conversation, like, you have to get physically a lot better to be able to do it. Exactly. And you've done the work. So talk about you. I know we went in there with Colby the one time, and he sent you some exercises. You've lost 35 pounds. I've never seen you this thin. I don't think you were this thin when I saw you coming out of UAB. I swear. I don't think. I swear you weren't.
I fluctuate a good bit.
But this is as thin as I've seen.
So I've been doing a whole lot more work in the gym between seeing Colby and having him send me a bunch of stuff to do on my own. I also went up 5-iron golf and saw Dan McCracken up there who does their workout stuff. And so between the two of them, we've had a lot of exercises, working on a lot of different range of motion, trying to get a deeper turn, trying to get my lower body, I guess, more loosened up, my hips to move better. And through that, it's actually been really nice. I actually texted Colby today that we're seeing some results finally, that the results are coming in. That's always nice when you put in any work to see some results.
The deepest I've ever seen you've always been able to, the club always would look pretty good at the top, but you never were able to turn and load very much into your right side without your head going in towards the ball. That was the move you hated.
Right.
Head would go in, in towards the ball, and your chest would your rib cage would quit turning.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the exercise video, because it's impressive how much you've changed.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, whenever I felt like I had two moves. It was either my head would drop towards the ball and go forward to help me turn, or I would just go and kind of slide over my right foot, and from there I couldn't do anything either. And so a lot of the stuff was leg strength and hip strength, and so like a lot of throwing medicine balls, a lot of doing, I forget what he calls the pulls from a squat position. A whole lot of leg workouts is what it kind of boiled down to, and a bunch of power as well. I finally learned that I gained a whole lot more club head speed from that deeper turn than anything else that I could do, and
which we talked about a bunch, right?
Right.
You've been kind of chasing, not chasing in a bad way, but kind of pissed that you've lost speed over the last 3, 4, 5 years.
Exactly. Every year is kind of slowly, really since college. We've had a little ups and downs from my left leg injuries, but it's been really since college. It's kind of been a slow decline, and this last year it's really jumped up, which has been awesome. And a lot of that majority of that is flexibility and being able to get a lot deeper. My hands are a whole lot higher than they've ever been on my backswing, which I couldn't used to do. So yeah, it's been nice seeing some results.
And the interesting thing to me, and I think this is important for players out there, is like what you feel like you're doing isn't always what you're doing, right? So we did some work today down at Doral, down at Rick Smith's place, and did some video work. And what's interesting to me is we've been fighting so long, your pelvis, your hips coming into the ball, and loss of posture, and right foot comes off the ground early, and your hip and your knee shoot in towards the ball. And it all started with where you are now with your thinking process of when we were together in January, we could get you to do small, slow shots. Me, you, and Jackson,
right.
I remember it, could do them perfect.
Right.
And on video, they look perfect. The ball looked perfect. Talk about how you transfer it, because I think this is interesting for people.
Yeah, so yeah, over the last few months, I kind of found that my hips obviously have been a big issue, and the losing my posture has been the biggest part of that in my downswing. And especially with working on the deeper turn, it's easier for me to not keep my posture. And so we've always talked about the hips clearing, getting my left hip out of the way. And the feeling for me in doing that is to kind of sit and try to keep my hips still on my downswing, and they don't stay still, but the sitting down and not letting, really I think the feeling is not letting my right hip go any towards the golf ball is the best feeling. And for me, that feels like it's doing nothing, but on video today we saw that that's not the case, but it just doesn't come up, which is the better part. It's finally turning. And when I do that, there's no more of that flippy hands hook, which is the best part.
Right. And now let's talk even a little bit. You called me a week or two ago. We were setting up the time to come here, and you've always played a fade. And the neat thing for me is not only you've kind of discovered it yourself, right? You've kind of discovered some of the stuff we've been trying to do, put it all together as your body's gotten better, but you were like, hey, I'm even drawing the ball a little bit, and I don't mind drawing the ball,
right,
which I think is a big deal for you, to be able to curve it both ways, because you're so creative. I think not being afraid of it hooking and hitting a draw.
Yeah, I think especially with my wedges and my scoring clubs, I've always tried to hit that hold off fade, and it was more because I think when I lose my posture, if I ever tried to draw it, there was the option of the massive pull hook,
right? Which is the dead shot.
Yeah, and so it was always a guarding against whatever that shot is, and so I think the guarding against that left shot, didn't let me ever freely release the club very well. And so now that my hips are kind of staying out of the way and staying out of the way a whole lot better, that I can kind of just take dead aim with a lob wedge or a gap wedge. I don't have to say like, okay, I'm gonna aim 10 feet left and try to hold something in there. And so yeah, that's been kind of nice. Like it feels very effortless with the wedges and 9-iron right now, which is nice. It hasn't felt that way in a long time.
Talk about the end of last year. So you got to the end of last year, you were struggling, you weren't playing your best. Actually, I thought you played pretty good in Q School. I actually thought you played pretty good until the last round. Inside the number, didn't finish the way you wanted. Mentally, how did you handle that? Because a lot of people pack it in. A lot of people go with the woe is me, or I can't catch a break, and this, that, and the other. How did you turn that around to say, hey, I'm going to get better? What was your thought process? Because I'm interested in that myself. Like, you've come out, to me, more focused on all parts and the things you need to get better than you've ever been.
Yeah, so this is the first year in a long time that I haven't had a guaranteed place to play for the whole year. Mm-hmm. And so whether it's cornerback, I can't remember, like it's been, thank you. It's been probably 5 years since I didn't have a guarantee, I can kind of make my schedule fully. And so it's kind of like, you look at it as like a reboot year where we're going to buckle down, focus more, practice harder, kind of change things up. I think it's hard to change things up. It's kind of like when you're in the middle of a round. Like, I think one of the worst things to do in golf is to go out and kind of scrape it around all day, because you don't end up like when you're not hitting your best, but you're not hitting it awful either. Yeah. Like, you kind of end up just like steering it around, playing with what you like, that little shot that you have, and not like, I'd almost rather hit one awful to say like, okay, all right, now I can get back to doing, and that's kind of what I felt like last year was it was bad enough that it was like, okay, I can try to make some bigger changes here. Like, I've got honestly nothing to lose. Like, I can go out and not fully restart, but take a little bit different approach and try to understand my swing better. I've always been one that's done a whole lot of playing golf. I'm trying to be a little more range oriented this year, and starting with kind of understanding why I do what, understanding more of my misses, understanding my golf swing better. And yeah, that was the main goal this year, was to better shape, understand my swing better, and pick up speed. Those are the three. At the end of the year, if I do those three things, I'm going to be better for it long term.
That's awesome. I love that. And I'm just so happy because you committed yourself and you know what you want to do, and your work, it's by far the hardest I've seen you work off the golf course. I mean, You've always played a ton of golf, and your ability to play golf, all the players I've taught, like, your ability to actually have fun playing golf has never gone away. Like, you're like a kid when you're on the golf course. I enjoy
playing golf. That's right. Every day.
Enjoy playing golf every day.
I still enjoy it a lot.
But we've had this conversation easily a dozen times about, hey, I know you love playing golf, but you got to learn to structure practice a little better to work on stuff. This is like, these are some of the first times in as long as we've worked where when you come back, you're honestly 100% better at what you were working on than when you left.
Exactly.
Which I don't know that I could have said at other points. I mean, there were stretches where I was like, you're trending in the right direction, you're doing the right stuff. But, like, you can really see that things are building from one time to the other.
Right.
And I think that trying to understand it's a big thing. This is the most you've ever asked questions, the most you've ever talked during lessons, going, here's what I think and feel. It's the best communication I think we've ever had.
I think with always playing tournaments and having a lot of them stacked and not having many weeks off, it's always like, whenever I felt like, okay, I need to work on this, I know this is an issue, and I get out there, and it was like, I can play like crap working through this, which I know I'll do for a little while, or I can go back to scraping it around and I can still have good weeks. So I think it's always been too much golf, as in like when something doesn't work, you just go back to what you know. And I think that's been where I've been for a few years, at least the last 5 years. And so this is the first time I've actually had bigger gaps, more time to commit to something, and I did go through. I mean, I'm still I feel like right now I'm incredibly streaky. I feel like I'm hitting it a lot better.
Today I thought you hit it really. I watched you in the Monday, and I watched 4 or 5 holes. I didn't see. I saw you tee off on the one par 5 where I think you made bogey, but like I really didn't see a bad swing, right? And I saw more control of your scoring clubs than I've seen in several years. You're always streaky though. Like you could have streaks where you would maybe not hit a 9-iron or shorter for 10 holes outside of the leather. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would streaks of that.
Yeah, I feel like right now my misses, like I've had in the last month, I've had more days where I didn't miss an iron shot and where I shoot very low, hitting it like at the end of the day better than I ever have, and then the next day I don't feel nearly as good. But I think that's again just going through a swing change. You're going to have the ups and downs, and so the goal is in a month to get a little bit better, get the bad stuff out of the way a little more, and keep. But the good has been really, really good for the last 2 months, and so that's the big bonus to look forward to.
I tell all my players, like, I think one thing that's a telltale sign if you're doing the right things is if the good is way better. Like if the good, because a player to me knows when the good is real good.
Right.
Like you guys know when it's fake, or when like it turned out good, but that's not how I meant to do it.
Exactly.
But like when your good is really, really good and you're starting to have more stretches of that, to me that's a good validation that you're on the right track.
Exactly. I mean, I can go out and shoot a 67 and it's like, well, that wasn't very good. That deserved to be a whole lot worse. And so like those rounds happen a lot. But lately the good has been shooting low 60s and it's an easy low 60. And so that's been exciting.
And again, I think I would have told you this off the recorder or whatever, but like I think one thing that'll help you now would be to continue to do some practice where you do it at slower speeds, right?
Exactly.
Where you can start to feel what you're doing even better, because your feel is gotten really good for what's going on. But I would continue to do more slow speed reps, maybe where you don't even care how far the ball goes, 50 yards or 100 yards, and where you can film it and start reinforcing that, hey, it looks like what I'm wanting it to look like and what it's doing. And then I think the other key too is to, as you keep practicing and getting better and you're more structured in your practice, but also to add some more challenge to your practice where you've got to have some obstacles and you start putting some heat on your practice a little bit.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
that's exactly
where you put boundaries up and you have to drive it. I told you today, I thought it was the most effortless I've seen you swing the driver. Even times before, and I've always said it was physical. Colby and I've talked about it. You looked like you were efforting a lot to square the driver.
I felt that. I felt it for 5 years that it was a big effort. It feels that way right now. Like lower back, hips, legs, everything. Like we talked about. I feel like I've been bracing a lot for a while, and like the swing has, like if I hit range balls for an hour, like my lower back would hurt. It was just like I was bracing everything, and it was a whole lot of effort. And right now it feels very easy, and my body's moving better.
So now that your body's moving better, I think we can honestly say your golf swing's getting better and better. Your last couple years on tour with the COVID year and all that, played a good bit. When you look back on it, we talked a little about it today around the short game area, but like what parts of your game do you say, hey, I need that, here's some areas in my game other than controlling my golf ball that I need to get better at, because I think that like you're at a point where you need to go out there and not just get your card to keep your card, but you need to, it's time for you to have some real success. I know that's what you want. What are parts of your game you've got to improve?
Yeah, so I think a little bit of everything. I think, honestly, I used to focus a lot on short game, a lot more than I have. And the swing has kind of taken over because it's been a problem over the last
I think a lot of people do that. I think even like people at the club do that.
It's so hard. There's not enough time in the day to focus on everything. Like you got to have something clicking that you've had the analogy of brushing your teeth. Like You don't have to overdo everything, but you gotta do a little checklist on the golf course. And like, if you're swinging it great and you can run through your checklist in an hour, then you can go focus on your short game for 3 or 4 hours. And I think that if you can do that, but like lately it's been, my short game has been neglected, and for good reason. And so it's taken a little bit of a hit. My putter's been streaky. It's been better lately. It's been better, but still streaky, and I'm still hitting bad putts here and there. And my short game isn't nearly what it used to be. And so that's kind of the next step, is if I can get my swing to keep doing what it's doing. I think I'm really close to having it dialed in. The last month has been awesome. And then I can go back into working on my short game a whole lot more.
Like today, you asked a question, though, that you never would have asked before, or posed the idea. You would always be, oh, my short game's pretty good. But you said, hey, I'm really good at these low spinner shots, but I think I'm one-dimensional. To me, that represents a change in thinking, though. Like before, would always been, I'm a pretty good chipper, I'm fine. I'm just going to go work on hitting it better or whatever, and I'm going to go play golf. But like, to me, the understanding or the thought like, hey, I'm one-dimensional, I need to add some different shots, is a change in the way you're thinking and preparing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So like I'm really good at the low little spinner. That's like my easy go-to shot. That's my comfort shot.
You can spin it.
Like I can hit that little, one hop check shot, and I use that all the way around the golf course. And like when it's necessary, I can hit a flop shot, but I don't ever use it. I don't even try to use it because I don't have it. I don't ever have that little kind of high soft shot. It doesn't need to spin much, but it's like the one you just threw up in the air up there. And so I think that's a lot more technique than it is. Like, I've always chipped it low.
Right.
I've always hit that little like hinge and hold, low little 2-hop, 1-hop and stop shot. And so again, I think I need to get a little more, I don't want to say, I guess it's creative. I don't know. I just needed more shots around the green. And
we do some of that with setup, right? And some of it we talked today. Actually, I thought it was pretty cool. Wish I would have filmed the interchange between you and Tom Lovelady.
Exactly.
Because Tom's a really good chipper and pitcher of the ball.
Right.
Great hands. Just listening to him explain what he did, and then you just took that info, kind of bounced the club around a bit, and then hit a couple that were soft. You're like, oh, that was better.
Much. Yeah, I've watched him. We've played together enough lately, and like he has that. Like that's kind of his go-to shot. He hits that shot a lot, and makes it look super simple. And it's not that easy to hit it. And for me at least, like it's a shot I've never used much. And so yeah, it was cool to hear what he had to say about it, and how turning your body more and having it be slower and all this stuff is great.
Yeah, the slower part I thought was interesting because that's similar to what we've talked about in your golf swing. And I've always thought it's interesting how things that are people do in their drivers or their irons, it's the same stuff they do in their chipping and oftentimes in their putting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You tend to, your arms and your body don't stay very matched up would be a great way to say it. And and then your body doesn't turn.
Yeah, I've never been anything around my body. My putting, I'm upright. My chipping, I'm upright and handsy. My golf swing's always been upright. And like that's kind of always. But yeah, that's exactly right. Like I think the shot has been easier trying to get this, and hearing it from Tom today. Like it is more of what we're working on with a turn. Like if you're going to hit it high and hit that little almost like a draw chip, you got to turn your body better.
Now, so what are you looking at coming up schedule-wise? Tell us your plans, and how do you approach continuing to get better, going through the playing part?
My schedule's a little bit up in the air in regards to Korn Ferry events. I think I'll get some starts in not the next 2, but after that, when the fields get bigger, days get longer.
If any tournament directors are listening, give them a start.
Please, I need them. When the days get longer and they can fill the 156 fields, I think I'll get some more starts coming up. But in the meantime, it's going to be Monday qualifiers, and I'm playing a little Emerald Coast event next week. I need to get reps. I need to get my swing more comfortable in tournaments. And so the fact that I am working on something and it is kind of new, I think that hurt me in Panama and Bogota with just a comfort level of both of those. I went in thinking I was hitting it pretty well, and I kind of went back to old habits during the tournament. And so I think just continuing to play in events in something and getting tournament starts will be good for me long term.
Which I think is good, and I think it's good you understand that, because we all know people, and there's tons of players out there that go through changes and they're afraid of playing, and they don't want to play, and they're like, oh, I'm working on something. I don't know that how you ever, like, you're never going to think you're ready to play at times. Like, I think sometimes, and tour players will get where, oh, I don't want to go play in this, it's a mini tour or whatever. Like, you got to get reps. Mm-hmm. You've got to go do it on the golf course, I think, to prove to yourself you can do it.
Yeah, I don't think until I can do it in a tournament, like in an actual event, then I don't think it really matters what I've done on the range. Like, I know I like what we're doing, but if I always mentally, it's just different in a tournament. Like gambling for money at home is great,
but it's not the same.
And it has pressure, but it's just not the same as like the gambling at home. Whatever you lost one hole, you can win the next hole. It's not like there's not a fear. There's not an 18-hole score that matters as much as in a tournament. And so, yeah, I think until I do it really well in a tournament, then once I do that, I think it will stick a whole lot better. I think it will become easier across the board. And so that's kind of the goal is in this next little gap is to play enough to where when my next starts do come, I'll be ready for them as we go.
And that's all you can do. But as we kind of wrap this up and go back to, I loved what you said, like you got 3 things you're trying to do. Trying to be better physically, trying to add speed. What were your 3 things you're trying to do at the end of the year? By the end of the year, you said, hey, if I've done these 3 things, I know I'm going to be a better player.
Yeah, so I want to be better physically. I want to be, I don't even remember what I said. What was the third one? I had 3.
Yeah, you had 3. We don't even remember what they are.
Oh, this is horrible.
You're good. You want to understand your golf swing. You want to.
Oh yeah, my wife can tell us this. Yeah, I want to learn my swing better. I've like in the past, I haven't really ever. I've understood it to an extent, like, but it wasn't. I feel like when I played my best years ago, I knew exactly what I did wrong and to fix it the next hole. I felt like for the last 5 years, it's been like I wake up, and I kind of feel that way a little bit now in the swing change. Like I know what I want to do, but I also feel lost sometimes. And like when I'm playing my best, there's no loss. It's like, oh, I didn't do this, or I did this there, and the next hole it's gone. And so by the end of the year, like that's my goal with the new swing. It's like I want to know like immediate feedback. Okay, that's what I did wrong, and then it's easy. The rest of the day is easy. It's not that playing through it. No misses long term.
I just love that because I've always thought that people put goals out there, and it's like, oh, I want to win, or I want to keep my card, or I want to make $1 million. But like, if you focus on the 2 or 3 things that'll make you better, those things happen. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If you gain speed and you understand, and your body gets better, and then you understand better what you're working on, with your talent, all the other things take place, right? I mean,
exactly. Exactly. There's no whether this year is successful or not. At the end of the year, it's always better to if I do those 3 things, I'll be better for it.
And you'll be better next year.
And I'll be better next year, and I'll go from there. Exactly.
Awesome. Well, Zach, this is one, you need to eat your 2 shrimp tacos. Well, I keep wolfing down these chips and salsa. I'm obviously not on the diet. I should be after my fried chicken I had all weekend. But anyways, awesome stuff. Thanks as always for sitting in. You know what a big fan we are, all of you. And, man, it's just fun to watch you grow as a player.
There was a little error with the bar inside. It rang out my ticket, so I got you.
Perfect. And we got 2 extra
I like
Pacific.
That, man. That's great.
Thank you very much. But appreciate you, as always, all the support. And we're going to have some fun at the Floridian tomorrow.
That's right. Go Dew Sweepers.
There we go. Thanks for listening to this edition of the Tour Coach. I want to take a minute and thank Cordy Walker and Golf Science Lab, as well as my sponsors Srixon, Buick, Bushnell, and Vineyard Vines for helping make all of this possible and helping me share my insights with you. If you like what you've heard, why don't you check out more on the Dew Sweepers channel on YouTube, as well as the Dew Sweeper on Instagram, or go to dewsweepersgolf.com to find out more about my teaching, my travels, and where you can find out more about me.